A building can last. A memory can last. A belief can last. But when we give to something that matters, we make it last. Siempre.
So it's not like I woke up one day and had a map of the world and said, what city am I going to start a school in? I was living in Austin. My kids were about to go into kindergarten, so I decided to go check out all the schools. I had never actually set foot in an elementary school in the United States because I grew up outside the United States. So I had no idea what to expect. And I came back home shocked. What was shocking to me was that not a single school that I went to could articulate a compelling vision for what they wanted to achieve through education, through the kids and this world. So I decided that we got to build it.
I came into the old Anderson Lane campus and listened to Erin Defossé talk about the mission for the school, why he'd founded the school. And as soon as he finished, I just looked at Emily and said, were any of the others like that? And she said, nope, not at all. And I said, so we're done then, yeah? She said, yep, absolutely done. So one of the easiest sort of group decisions we ever made.
When I first started here, I worked in the campus on Great Northern Boulevard, and I literally shared a closet with the previous director of admissions. And to have gone from that physical space where we were bursting at the seams in terms of what we had available, to now be here at Bull Creek in this fabulous location, I'm kind of blown away by how much has happened in my time here.
When we walked in and saw the campus for the first time, I think we just felt an enormous sense of pride that this is where, for Summer and for me, that this is where our child would be learning and this is where she would be spending her days in these amazing facilities. And you could see how everything was intentionally set up, and it's been a space that's become very comfortable for our whole family.
When I hear my kids talk about the things that they talk about, it's with a depth that I just don't hear from other people. And I think it's amazing that the teachers and the IB curriculum allow the kids to kind of lead the discussion in the classroom. It's just amazing to see them be curious about things that we definitely did not care about when we were their age.
I love speaking Spanish. I get to use it on vacations. I get to use it whenever someone needs help with Spanish or doesn't understand English. And I think that really stuck with me, and I learned so much. And once I knew a bunch of words, we just went into grammar and how to write and how to write a story. And I think Magellan really prepared me for that, and not just with Spanish.
In English class, I figured out that I really like writing stories and doing poetry, so I want to be an author when I grow up. I love all the teachers because they're very nice. I love the library because there's so many books to read. I just love the school in general.
I love how it's such a close community. I can talk to all of my friends easily. I can talk to all of my teachers. For example, if I have a question in one of my classes, I can ask them and the teachers will explain all of my questions clearly. That's what I like most about Magellan.
What I love most about Magellan is how we're exposed to so many things such as the IB attributes, and we're exposed to do public speaking.
Be an example to your kids, like making a donation. It's something that needs to be part of their lifestyle, and they can grow up with that example. Your kids are here, are growing up here. They have a lot of teachers, people, and stuff that they love them, and they're part of their family. I'm sure that in the future, they're gonna see the fruit of everything that they are planting. They're gonna see a lot of kids being successful in their professional life.
When I was applying to colleges, I thought that it might be interesting for me to look abroad in a Spanish-speaking country. And so I looked into it, and I ended up picking a school in Spain, IE University, that does its instruction in English, but is of course in Spain. I spend my whole day, speaking Spanish with my peers, with locals, with everyone around me.
I think that we really wanted to invest in not only our kids' future, which is obviously very important to us, but also the community's future. I think that the students that come out of Magellan are so important for our future world that we're not just investing in them, which we are. It's a really cool way to invest where you don't just you get to see the changes in your own personal life, but you also get to help so many other kids.
Ask yourself also what matters to you and see if it's a match, because it does go very far here. And that's the thing I'm the most proud about of our contributions.
And I think Parents really have a powerful ability to help the school achieve what our goals are and achieve them earlier than we would if we just wait.
We have a deep connection to the Magellan community. The tuition doesn't cover this experience, and that's just the reality of the situation. And so, you're not going to buy a building like this with the tuition. So to be able to support that and to create the experience for both not only our children who were just about to graduate out when the building was finished, but for the generations of children to come, that was important to us as we were wrapping up our Magellan careers.
I grew up going to small, very religious schools where most of my education was not focused on learning about the world around me. What I see at Magellan is something that I do like. It's a school that focuses on diversity. It's a school that focuses on education. We focus on science and truth, and it's a school where I found my community of people.
This last step is kind of the step that historically, not just at Magellan, but any other school that's been in a growth mode, has always been the most challenging on one hand, but also is the one with the biggest opportunity on the other. And we got to be thinking about what is education and what is a school going to do for our community, not just in the next year or two, but the next 5 to 10 years, and what is schooling going to look like and how are we going to be participant in that. So we got to have our act together now.
It's not supposed to be just for your kids, it's supposed to be for a whole group of kids. This is where your kids are going to be for a large part of their day, and a bunch of other kids are going to be for a large part of their day. And to be able to build something, someone's got to step up and do that. It doesn't just happen. None of the other schools we look around and see that have been here for much longer than Magellan has, they didn't start organically. They didn't inorganically just arrive. Some people had to step up and contribute to that.
We believe in the school, and when it came to Siempre Magellan, if not only for our kids, we wanted the future of our Magellan kids to experience this program.
Being part of the Siempre Magellan campaign is really showing our gratitude. This is an opportunity to really set Magellan up for the future, a permanent home for the school, which I think really means that this school could endure for generations to come.
I think it's incredibly important to give to this campaign and ensure the continuity and legacy of this school as it continues to grow, and we build out the secondary program for other kids. So I'd love to see this school become something where it can go from preschool through high school and you can get the full IB curriculum, and to do that on a campus that is so wonderful. And to be able to support this campus and its growth and its longevity is really important.
It's about everyone that our kids will touch in their lives. It's the multiplication of the mission through the children. When they graduate, they're going to say or do something that's going to impact the lives of people, and that's all going to trace back to Magellan.
I was just actually, when I was in England, I was talking to my family about this, and they said, "Oh, how heavily involved are you with the school now?" And I said, so involved enough that it's slightly uncomfortable. And I think that's what it should be. It should be at a level where you should feel it a little bit. If you're not feeling it, you're probably not trying hard enough. That to me is where sort of the rubber hits the road in philanthropy.
When you give to Siempre Magellan, you're not just paying for a building. You're investing in every dream that takes root here, in every child who finds their voice, in a legacy that lasts. Siempre.
Siempre Magellan.
Siempre Magellan.
Siempre Magellan. Siempre Magellan.
Our forever home.